Good evening, and we're continuing now with The Old Testament is About You. And somebody had, well, three or four of you, had asked me if I was aware that Orthodoxy 12's posting of refutations of Archbishop Lazar Puhalo. Yes, I'm aware there are a number of fundamentalists within the Orthodox Church who are kind of hooked on the Protestant scientific creationism movement and have sort of fallen into that cult. And it can express what he wishes. That's appropriate and proper to let somebody express their ideas. We're not, again, looking at the book of Genesis now in a point of view of arguing science and scientific accuracy and historical accuracy and that sort of thing. It's quite simply clear. The book of Genesis is a book neither about science nor history, but about humanity. And it's if one tried to force some kind of scientific accuracy upon it, then not only would one be denying the meaning and the purpose of the narrative, but one would be rendering a real falsehood, because it simply isn't true. The book of Genesis is neither scientifically nor historically precisely accurate. We enter into an actual historical period with Abraham. When Abraham appears in the Egyptian sphere of influence, then we enter into an actual historic context that has substantially more to it than simply than the tradition has passed down, the stories discussing mankind. And of course, some fundamentalists feel that they're unable to have faith or they're unable to believe unless they can think that the book of Genesis has perfect historical and scientific accuracy. And consequently, all we can do is pray for them that their faith will become strengthened so that they can have faith even if they come to grips with reality itself. And that of course, we do pray for these people that their faith might become authentic and real, so that reality and truth do not overturn their faith or undermine their faith. So anyway, we'll pass on now to this lovely story about Abraham sending to find a bride for Isaac. And when the servants come up by Haran and find Rebekah, they're told to look for the woman who will draw water and give them water, but also have the kindness and the generosity to fetch water for the camels, knowing that they traveled quite a long distance. So when the servants come, and Rebekah has come to the well, and she's walked down in, likely sort of a cistern-type well. So you'd walk down steps to where the water pool actually was, or the spring, and fill the vessels and bring them back up out of the pit. And Rebekah is there, and she is asked by the servant for a drink of water. And she said, well, certainly, and I'll also fetch water for your camels. And this act, again, of unselfishness is really very often a pivotal point in some of the scriptural narratives. The unselfish response, the caringness, the actual caring about the neighbor, the kind of love thy neighbor as thyself act, is one of the points that occurs so many times. And here in the story of Rebekah, and she agrees to go to become the wife of Isaac. Now, the other part of the story about Rebekah is her giving birth to Jacob and Esau. And sometimes people fault Rebekah, saying that she deceives Isaac by obtaining the blessing for Jacob as the heir to the headship or leadership, to become the actual patriarch of the tribe. But we have to look at that story a little differently and understand exactly what was going on at that point. Remember that Esau was born a little before Jacob. They're basically twins, I guess paternal twins. And Jacob is the second one out from the womb. So Isaac then is actually the one who, by rights of primogeniture, that is, by rights of first birth, would take the leadership of the tribe. He's, in sequence, the firstborn. In the end, however, Jacob becomes the one who has the title of firstborn. That is, he becomes the heir, the leader, the patriarch of the tribe, and the one who receives Isaac's blessing. You'll all be familiar with the story about how Rebekah disguises Jacob as if he were Esau, when Isaac has gone blind and can only tell by feel which one he's touching or talking to. And so she obtains Isaac's blessing on Jacob, while Esau is the one to whom Isaac would normally have given the blessing. In the story, we find that each person favors a different one of the sons. Now, before the birth of the twins, God has revealed to Rebekah that one of the sons will be the greater and the other the less. They'll be the patriarchs of two different tribes or two different peoples, and given her some understanding of the difference between the two boys. Isaac favors Esau because Esau is a great hunter. He's the really macho one. He is a little bit wild and runs around doing all kinds of wild, adventurous things. He's called Esau because when he was born, he had reddish skin, and Esau means red. He becomes later the father of the Edomites, and Edomite means hot or red hot. And so we'll see that Jacob, on the other hand, is very attentive to the actual duties of the tribe. He stays at home, he lives in his tent, he looks after the flock and the affairs of the day, while Esau is rather like-minded about those things and a little bit scattered. Now, it seems that Rebekah favored Jacob for more than one reason. Would Esau have been an effective leader? Would he have been an effective patriarch of the tribe when he paid so little attention to the actual affairs of the tribe and the flocks and spent his time roaming around hunting? Perhaps not. And perhaps Rebekah could actually see that, and from what was revealed to her before the birth of the boys, she was inclined already to realize that one of them would be an effective leader, the other would not. And she understood that Jacob would be the one who should have the leadership, because he would actually fulfill it and take it very seriously and look after it diligently, whereas Esau simply wouldn't, and wouldn't be dependable or a dependable leader. So in order to ensure that Jacob becomes the patriarch, the leader of the tribe, after Isaac has gone blind near the end of his life, she disguises Jacob as if it were Esau. Esau, remember, was very hairy, and Jacob wasn't. So she puts some sheep wool or something on, makes him feel like he's much more hairy than he is. So when she brings him to Isaac, Isaac feels him in his skin and thinks that this is Esau. So he bestows the blessing upon him. And then Esau comes in, and if you'll remember, he's very hungry. He's been out hunting, and he's rather weak and faint from hunger. While Jacob is making a pot full of a kind of red lentil soup. And Esau asked for some of the hot lentil soup. And Jacob sort of strikes a deal with him. All right, look, I'll give you the soup if you'll give swear your inheritance to me, that I would be the patriarch or leader of the tribe. And Esau